I know how to like put on muscle because like I have a friend of mine who's like a bodybuilder. Find me. So he gave me like a lot of advice on how to like gain weight, but like in other terms of nutrition, I know nothing. Little to nothing. I've also always been like a lanky dude, so like I've never really needed to lose like 30 or 40 pounds or anything like that. Just because I got lucky. Better lucky than good, as they say, or as I say. I'm gonna fetch because this is probably some kind of wasteland deck. I think he was playing Grixis Delver for a bit. I know he played Jund, so I'll take a fourth land. It's fine. I might get wasted. I just want an extra red source just in case. Like I don't want to have to cast Loam because it's expensive. 2 mana is like a pretty big investment in a format like Legacy, I would argue. So thoughts on Black Red Vintage? I don't know actually. Black Red and Vintage isn't really something I've considered doing or something I even thought of before this. So I don't know. Could be good though. Should I loam now or later? I mean, I don't have another play. So just play loam. I can also dredge it to make sure I don't draw land. Oh, the ban and restricted. I see. I think the decisions are great. I'm very, very happy about the banning and restricted announcements for today, for sure. I think that they've been a long time coming, and Mentor should have been restricted like last year. There's like it's just been so long. I also think it'll be a lot better for the format in general. Dredge Loam, yes. I'm gonna Snapcaster Ponder. I'm gonna fetch next turn, so maybe you're supposed to ponder instead. I was considering preordaining. If I didn't have a fetch, I think I would have preordained actually. But because I have a fetch land, I think this is a case where you play ponder instead. Oh, he could be on elves. I mean, the last time I saw him playing Magic, he was on elves. Uh, there's like no blue cards in my hand, which is really bad. Hmm. Maybe you go. Hmm. Like boom, boom, boom. Say no. Yeah, it's elves. This is actually a good hand against that deck. Because we have 2 bolts and we have force coming up. With a Flusterstorm, which is also kind of good. I should have took it. Ah, fucking son of a bitch. I keep forgetting about the fact that you can't just look at whatever. Do you travel for tournaments? I do. I will be going to a Magic tournament in less than 2 months. Eternal Weekend is in a month and a half. But I mostly go to Eternal tournaments. I don't really go to like modern tournaments or anything like that. Just because I'm an Eternal guy. I like my old Magic cards. Well, you definitely gotta just like. Keep her clean, right? Loam would be good if I had Brainstorm. Because of Brainstorm, I'm not going to play the fetch land. Do you play both Vintage? I can't play Vintage in real life, unfortunately. I play Vintage on Magic Online, but I do play Legacy in paper. I've got my duels and stuff. I would actually play Vintage professionally if I could, though. Like, if I could fly to every Vintage event that took place in America, I would go 100%. Because I really like Vintage. I think Vintage is actually one of the most fun formats. Because it's just like, the less creatures there are in the format, it's normally just the more I like it. Doomsday in both formats, right? Yeah, dude, of course. Just mono Doomsday. Let's see, the golden ratio of meat per week is like 2-3 per week when that feels. Well, then my diet's definitely bad. Like last week, dude, my diet was so bad. It's because, like, I got off vacation, so, like, I was just on vacation eat mode, so it's just like, let's eat whatever, I don't care what it is. I do try to watch my weight, like, a little, because, like, I mean, I can't eat anything and not gain weight, but, like... Is he just not going to play anything? Must be, like, a Glimpse of Nature hand or something. Meant per day, right? Right? I hope you meant per day. I'm not going to play Thing in the Ice. No, that's just a stupid decision. I'm going to play Thing in the Ice. You know what? I'll wait a turn. Because I want Hardcast Force of Will plus Flusterstorm plus Lightning Bolt all in one turn. Always in vacation mode when it comes to food. The same thing happened after I went to RTX after eating like Fetch plus Loam. I could have Loamed. I think I'm just going to play super defensive because he's not playing anything. It's just like kind of weird. Like normally Elves is either fetching out like a Dryad Arbor or something. I've never really seen an Elves deck just sit there for this long before. So like I'm super apprehensive about playing something just because I think they're trying to go for something like this, and I would much rather hardcast a force on this than have to go for something else. Like, this is a really good hardcast force target. Alright, so now we play Thing in the Ice. There's actually not a lot of lands to get left in the deck. I will play Loam. Just because we've got mana for... let's fetch first, I guess. Because that would be a good play. Loam, boom, boom, boom. Just in case we draw, like, Brainstorm. It also gets a trigger off Thing in the Ice as well, so we can flip it next turn. So now we have Flusterstorm and Bolt, which should be able to do the job. So this, now he's going to be fetching out Dryad Arbor to block Snapcaster. Yeah, with Bolt plus Fluster, we should actually be able to counter something legitimate here. Because, like, the opponent's going to be casting things. And, like, with our addition of 2 spells, I think Flusterstorm can actually counter something. Hey there, dude. Legacy Thing in the Ice. Is the Vamp Hexmage Dark Depths combo... it is actually not in here, no. But it is good with Loam, though. I mean, the combo's always good with Loam. Weird game 1. I actually think that was, like, just weird as shit. Don't know how that happened. So we go Cage, Invasive Surgery, Echoing Truth, and Kozilek's Return. Boarding out Jace the Mind Sculptor. Maybe like a Gitaxian Probe? Dak Faden. Because Dak just... The Planeswalkers against Elves are just not very good. But against other decks, like a fair deck, if you have 4 walkers like this, I think you're really well positioned. And then let's cut, like... Probably Loam for Flusterstorm. 3 Flusterstorms and an Invasive Surgery should be super good on the counter Magic. I think Echoing Truth is just for returning elves to the hand. Like, if your opponent is just, like on the draw, your opponent is going to be able to get ahead a lot sooner than you. So, like, let's say they have 2 Deathrite Shamans. Returning both of them with Echoing Truth at the end of the turn, I actually think is a really good play. And you can return things like Craterhoof Behemoth. So, like, the creatures would get less triggers from things. Or I just think it could come up. I could be wrong, honestly. Like, it's not the strongest card. But I just think, like, there are interactions. So you might as well run it. Have you tried Solemnity Depths in Vintage? I have not, but that sounds like a great idea. Someone recommended me that deck. I think it was Bear with 2 guns. He was playing like a Solemnity. We were talking about it on Discord like 2 weeks ago or something like that. This hand's insane. This is like a nut hand. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that I'm not the first one to ask this question. What are your thoughts regarding to the Legacy Planeswalker rule change? I absolutely love it. You can ask as many times as you want. I'm very excited about it. I think that it's a decision that should have happened a long time ago. I think that Mentor should have been restricted. Like, some people have different opinions. Like, a lot of professional Vintage players have not thought that Mentor needed to get restricted. But it's not like the deck got better. You know what I mean? The deck has been the same for, like, a year. Like, it's been as good as it has been. Gush got restricted, and Probe got restricted, and then Mentor got restricted. Think about that progression of things. They tried to fix it, they were like, didn't work, now we have to restrict Mentor. So, like, in the beginning, they should have just restricted Mentor. You know what I mean? Like, the decks are not that different. Paradoxical Outcome came out last year. It came out a year ago. And Mentor's only getting restricted now. So I'm very excited about it. And with the new leaks coming out as well, I mean, it's just so good for the game. Like, it's such a positive change, I think. It's almost like the miracle banning, basically. Why aren't you playing Destiny 2? Is it out? Unrestrict Probe? I want Probe to get unrestricted in Vintage as well. I don't know if it should, but I want it to, because I really like Probe. When is the new leak coming? It is coming Wednesday, and the first episode for me should be on Thursday, assuming that they work. Because it's Magic Online. Mistakes happen all the time. I'm planning to do it on Thursday, but like I said, if things go wrong, there's not really a lot I can do about that. Yeah, it's in the beta right now. That's not out. Beta doesn't count. Wirewood Symbiote. I'm going to let them resolve, and I'm going to play Thing in the Ice, and then I'm going to start forcing stuff. It's 5-round Vintage, right? Yeah, it should be. If it's less, that would suck, because, like, I want to play real Vintage. If it's 3 leagues, I mean, or 3 matches, maybe just because there's not enough Vintage players, that's a possibility, but I think people should be able to get 5. I also think that with Mentor getting restricted, that more people will actually want to play Vintage now that might have not been interested before. There are only 2 elves in play right now, so this is actually not that scary. He only has like 2 cards left in his hand, so if you save your forces for something like Nettle Sentinel and for Glimpse of Nature, you just play out that Ting. I don't know why I'm like in such a competitive mood today. Like, I feel like I'm actually like trying to win these games. Feels weird, man. I'm normally like in such a jokier mood. I'm just feeling being competitive today. Like, it feels good. Maybe it's because I'm just playing blue. Blue has actually gotten, in my opinion, harder to play recently because it's just more cantrip based, so there's more decisions to be made. Like, the more cantrips you play in your deck, in my opinion, the harder your deck is to play. Just because there's more decisions to make down the line. And, like, for me, the difficulty of Legacy comes from making the right decision. And like a lot of games come down to, I did this when I didn't do this, I was supposed to do this, so I lost, sort of thing. I'm going to force this. Pitching Ponder. How about those green merfolk? Yeah. The one, isn't that just like a reprint kind of like what's her face? The card that draws you cards equal to the like her power. There's like a merfolk version of that now, sort of. You think keep Ponder? I was thinking keep Truth, just because like we're playing Kozilek's Return anyway. Yeah, I'm actually just gonna keep up K, because you don't need to go for it right now. In fact, it actually might be in my detriment to go for it right now. Because, like, let's say my opponent plays a creature, right? What you probably want to do is have them actually resolve another creature. Then K, just wipe the whole board away, K return. Ponder gets us ahead. That is true. Maybe pitching the Ponder was a mistake. What's good? Yo, what's up, homie? You here again? I'm playing Thing in the Ice. So everything's good. Got coffee. Probably going to make some more. So life is good, man. Life is only good. Yeah, I'll let that resolve, I mean. Yeah, we could just force a natural order, essentially, and Kozilek's Return the board. Yo, Thing in the Ice is actually, like, pretty good. I thought this day was going to be way shittier because I didn't think this was, like, a competitive card at all. What's happening? Is this Glimpse of Nature? Probably sacrificing Wirewood Symbiote? If that's the case, that's really good for me because I can do a number of things. Then I get to wipe the board without removing something. Or my opponent removing something, I mean. Because Wirewood Symbiote can return creatures to your hand. If you sacrifice Wirewood Symbiote, I go for Kozilek's Return. Okay. So they sacrifice Nettle Sentinel. I mean, I'll probably force pitching Echoing Truth. Because Snapcaster Mage is just really good. And the end of the turn, I'm going to go for Kozilek's Return. And then I'm flipping Thing in the Ice, which is, like, nuts. Alright, so let's do a Tropical Island. Because why not? I mean, we have green cards in the deck. Might as well. By green cards, I mean literally just engineered explosives. Kozilek's Return. My opponent is 100% returning the Elvish Visionary to their hand. That's like a definite play. Yeah, we get Snap Ponder for value, which is nuts. Because it's aggression plus the cantrip, we get a huge board wipe, and we get to flip Thing in the Ice. Like, it's a really good turn that we get. Fetch land? I have to imagine at this juncture in time that you don't actually want to draw another land. We only need one green source, and I'm actually going to use the green source to cast Snapcaster. Because, like, EE, you want a lot of mana versus, like, a little mana. Because you're probably going to want to do it for, like, 2 and then be able to do it, or do it for 1 and be able to do it all in the same turn. So you, like, probably want 3 or 4 mana. We get to return Snapcaster Mage, which is the insane aspect of it. And now we have another Bolt, which is just stupid. So we're going to order them, get Snapcaster Mage, Gitaxian Probe, Lightning Bolt. Shuffle, no. This is just like a dismantling here. This is great, dude. Bop for 7, bop for 7, bop for 7, you're dead. Snap, Bolt, 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 Snap, Culligan's Command. Like, it's game. The value's just too good. She resolves. I like wait for fetch in case you 1 to 2 cards with Ponder. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a case to be argued for not making that play, for sure. I'm just greedy. I'm going to bolt the Shaman. More annoying card, I think. Like, without Wirewood Symbiote, Elvish Visionary doesn't really do anything. And we can also get good information. So we can make a perfect play. So the opponent has Natural Order plus a Nettle Sentinel. Okay, well, he shouldn't be able to kill me. Especially if he doesn't block. This is the end of the line. I think you're dead. I think you're dead, man. I'll just let him block here because he has Natural Order. So the more that they trade away their own creatures, we could just swing again for 7 on the next turn. Why pay the life? I just think that, I don't know. It was probably a misplay in reality. I don't think there is a legitimate reason to pay the life. How is Snapcaster Mage plus Force of Will working? Pretty good. I've only Snapcast a Force of Will like 1 or 2 times, though, if I'm being honest. But normally they work well with each other because, like, Snapcaster Mage is very often the card that you pitch to Force of Will. Because it's basically a 3-mana card, because you often want to flash something back with Snapcaster Mage. Like, sure, you can just throw it in as a threat, but... I will just play the land, I guess. And now we have Kozilek's Return for whatever. If the opponent wants to, like, go wide or something. No, but I mean, can you snap Force of Will in the graveyard? You can, but you can't remove a blue card. You can only hard cast Force from the graveyard for, like... So, like, snap Force of Will in Legacy will only be, like, 7 mana. If you could snap regular Force of Will, and by regular I mean the alternative cost, that